Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Negler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It's Thursday. Packers will be back on the practice field later this afternoon. But first, we want to hear from you fine folks, Packers fans worldwide, because that's what we do. Devoted to each and every one of you, especially those folks already mixing it up in the comments section, including Dale in London. What's up, Dale? Good morning from New York City. Probably afternoon where you are. Go Pack Go, Tommy. What's up, man? Jeezy baby, what move will the Packers have to make to add Smith? Maybe you saw the report from Ian Rappaport. Sounds like Chauncey Rivers is headed to IR. I know he was listed with an ankle injury in the practice report yesterday. And that was probably coming into it. Who knows what happened at practice? Sounds like it was a non-contact injury, which is never good. Another Smith to add to the Smith room. Yeah, it's good. What is your reaction to the news of Jalen Smith after he was released from the Cowboys when he agreed terms with the Packers? What is my reaction, Callum? The title of this video: All players have value. It's just assessing said value that's the tricky part. I've seen a lot on Twitter about some of his poor play, and there's no doubt he is not the dynamic presence he once was on the defensive side of the ball. Now, that said, doesn't mean he's useless, doesn't mean he's terrible. I tend to think the Packers are bringing him in to probably fit into a very specific role, um, probably a set of packages as far as subs with their linebackers rolling in and out, most likely to augment the depth, probably play ahead of guys like Oren Burks or Ty Summers. Don't think he's there to replace either Chris Barnes or especially Devondre Campbell. God, it's just interesting watching so many people get so negative about a player that we haven't seen in this system with this staff, with these guys around him. I mean, how many times have a change of scenery maybe not unlocked something, but just changed a guy a little bit? Look at Campbell's a perfect example, talking about how he's always been Robin, never Batman, and now he's got his chance to play most downs. And you've seen how well he's played. And I'm not sitting here telling you Jalen Smith's going to suddenly look different, right? Going to look like a different player. Um, but every player has value, and every player can be put in a position to succeed. And hopefully that's what they do with Jalen. I know this is clearly maybe not driven by Matt, but Matt has familiarity with Jalen from their time at Notre Dame together. So he knows the guy and clearly wants him on the team. That's good enough for me, man. Obviously, Matt and Joe have a plan for this player. I'm really excited to see how they utilize him. That's my reaction. And I know, like I said, the tape gurus are out there telling you how bad he is, which, hey, maybe he's awful. Maybe he'll show up and just be god awful, terrible, make me want to turn off the television. But I doubt it. So we'll see. Dave, thanks for the super chat. I feel like missing MVS is like an NBA team missing a three-point shooter, changes the geometry of the offense. Got to find creative ways to create space. Yeah, I think there's definitely some validity to that. I think it's maybe a bit overstated in the sense of like he's not clearing people out every single play, right? The threat is certainly there, but it's not like teams were rolling to him. Teams are always rolling to Devontae, no matter who's on the field. So there is an element to that, especially maybe on certain, parts of the field where probably scouting tells opponents this is when they most often take deep shots, etc. But to your point, yeah, I think a big part of creating space can be utilizing the running game. You know, get that run action going, get those linebackers and safeties biting up, and then go to town and play pass. So I do agree that element is certainly there. There's no question about it. He is obviously not a guy who produces big time week in and week out, but his threat of being able to pop off at any moment certainly is missed on the offensive side. Nagler, we're not happy about a player addition unless he has a clear Pro Bowl value and plays for a vet minimum. What's funny is he probably will. That's the other thing with Jalen Smith. He's gonna like cost them a song. He's gonna cost nothing. The Cowboys are gonna pay the majority of his salary. They're on the hook. I would doubt. The Packers probably will pay him the vet minimum, which I believe is just under $1 million. So, I mean, that's a win. The only thing that's interesting is that he hasn't traditionally played special teams. So you're putting this guy in your 53. I assume you have a plan for him outside of, just in case there's injury. So I would think he's, going to be on the field in certain sub packages and certain situations that they like him for, because like I said, he hasn't played teams, so I don't see him. Maybe he suddenly, they put him on teams, but that has not been something part of his game up to this point. So I think we'll see some of him. Jeez, baby. Cardinals lost last night. Shame. True shame. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. Smith looks like Reggie White compared to Summers. All right, relax. I thought Summers has held his own, and he's not ever going to be a frontline starter. But again, all players have value. Greg, thanks for the super chat. Which Packers moment gives you the "it's getting dusty in here" feels? Mine will always be Bill Curry talking about Willie Davis. Oh, that is such a great clip from NFL Films. Absolutely. I don't know, all the feels. That's a good one. There's an old Packers commercial that was produced by the NFL with Mel Kanoki. The "I feel the power." Um, it was a kind of a tagline that they had used throughout the season. And Mel Kanoki, who I got to meet before he passed, he was like at the point the commercial was shot. I think he was approaching 90, just over like 93 or something like that. He was very old, and he talked about how he and his wife had not missed a Packers game in X number of years, etc. And it just really reminded me of my grandparents. I'm getting choked up just thinking about it right now. Yeah, just the history, the connection throughout the ages, generations, passing it on, etc. That gets me in the feels, 100%. What else we got here? I'll be honest, the Pack being in the conversation on these vets is enough for me. Doesn't seem that was the case not too long ago. Yes and no, Blake. I hear you. Certainly, Brian has been true to his word about being in the conversation, right? Those calls were being made when Ted was in town. We just weren't as hyper aware of it. The information spread wasn't as vast as it is now. And agents have really played up the fact that the Packers are interested in players to drive interest elsewhere and or monetary value elsewhere. That is a very real thing. We saw it playing out yesterday morning. I mean, how quickly, once Schefter put out the tweet about how they were going to release Stephon Gilmore, did we have our Twitter feeds flooded with, "Oh, Packers are the preferred destination. He wants to play in Green Bay." That didn't just happen, So, but I hear you. It is Brian certainly has been more active. There's no doubt about that. Nagler, why did I let myself believe we were getting Gilmore? Stupid. I know better, but the thought of Jair, Gilmore, and Stokes made it tough for me to stand up in public. I hear you, Bradley, but now you can go about your day. Bengals pass rush could be the issue this week. Good thing we have young, up-and-coming linemen. Got to run the ball. Got to keep them off their toes. Don't let them tee off. Is this a dream? I woke up and the Packers made some impact free agent moves. We'll see how much of an impact it is, attorney. But yeah, they signed someone. Dave, thanks for the super chat. Pretty sure John in Minnesota yesterday meant he is more likely to get games on TV when they don't play at noon as an outer market fan without Sunday ticket. Cool. Man, you guys hold on to these things for 24 hours? Really? I see Smith playing as much as Snacks did. Hopefully a little bit more, Brandy. A little bit more. Goodness knows. What else we got here? Don't want to miss any super chats. Samuel, thanks for the super chat. I'm starting to get some serious Magnum PI vibes. Hey, I'll take that. I like me some Magnum PI. That was a great show. I mean, great. He's doing a lot of work there, but yeah. Brandy, is Myers injured? Yeah, yes, he injured a finger, I believe, on his snapping hand last week. He played through it on Sunday. But yes, he was on the injury report again yesterday for the finger. But it doesn't sound like it's anything that will keep him out. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. Just saying the Smith convo in reference to play decline we are having now was the same we had when we brought Campbell in. Look what he has done. I don't know about that. I don't remember that kind of conversation around Devondre Campbell. I know, the idea where the similarity is, the Cardinals had drafted someone and they wanted to get a young guy on the field, and that's what the Cowboys have done. They drafted two guys this year that are playing well and make Smith expendable. But I don't think, Campbell never put some of the questionable stuff on tape that Jalen has this season. That's a bit different. Ed, thanks for the super chat. Tuesday's reminder to remember the injuries during 2010 was sound advice. Help to keep the 70s memories at bay. I'm all about your needs, Ed. That's why I'm here. Is Burns healthy? I think you mean Barnes. He practiced, was a full participant. He is still in the concussion protocol, but he is trending in the right direction. Full participant in practice yesterday. Hopefully, they get him back this week. The Council of Smiths on D, no doubt. Do we have an advantage at the line of scrimmage this week on either side of the ball? Man, I don't know about advantage. It's really hard to say. I think it's a wash on both sides. But I do like our young line on offense. On defense, let's see who plays. I mean, Kenny's going to bring it, but who knows? Is Tyler Lancaster going to be back? Does Kiki show up again? I mean, that's hard to forecast. So I would go, if there is one, it's on the offensive side. Any update on Elton? Still not practicing, Kyle. Still dealing with an ankle. Suspect it could be a bit here. How long do you think before they make a decision on Jair's recovery process? Good question, Kevin. The longer this drags out, the worse I feel about it. I would suspect they put him on IR by the end of the week, have him sit for at least 3 weeks. I mean, the way Matt's talking yesterday, it still sounds like surgery is a possibility. And if that happens, it's over. Like he's done for the year, which, God damn, I don't want that to happen, obviously. But man, we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I would suspect we'll get some kind of idea of what they plan to do by, time the weekend rolls around prior to the game. Matt said it's most likely Jair won't play. I'll say there's, no chance in hell he plays in this game on Sunday. So we'll see how the week plays out. But man, don't feel great about it at this moment right now. I'm surprised MVS got the IR, but not Elton. Yeah, Kyle, a little bit. I mean, we don't know the severities of these things, right? Like, for all we know, the MVS hamstring issue is way worse than, it's just going to be a few weeks to heal up. Plus, with hamstrings, you never want to fool around. They have such a propensity to kind of come back and bite you and re-aggravate themselves. So I think if they're erring, especially since it's so early in the season, erring on the side of caution, sit MVS down and, let that thing fully heal. With Elton, I mean, it's just so hard to say because we don't know. You could barely tell when he got injured in the game in New Orleans, and the fact that he played through it and finished the game, or I'm sorry, Detroit, the fact that he finished the game, it's like, okay, so how bad can it be, right? But clearly the guy has not touched the practice field since. So it's got to be somewhat significant, right? Yeah, I don't know. But hopefully, maybe today we get a little limited participation. I don't know. We'll see. I kick ass, man. Thanks for the super chat. If Jair is out for the rest of the year, obviously our secondary is suspect, but do you see them trying to make a move, or have they already done that with their recent moves and calling it a day? As Brian always says, it's a 365-day-a-year process. They're always looking, always searching, always trying to get, guys who can help make the team better. If Jair's done for the year, do they make a move just to make it? No, but possibly they explore a trade. But I don't think it's going to be some huge frontline headline grabbing thing. Maybe it's a nickel corner somewhere who's not playing as much as they think he should or is capable of, and they try and make a move that way. But for the most part, I don't see a cavalry in the distance. Got to make it work. Julia, thanks for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. Thank you. What do I know about Rasul Douglas? I can't be the only one who thinks of Ra's al Ghul every time they see this kid's name, right? Like everybody, like if you know Batman at all, you think of this, right? Every single time, because I know I do. Well, I'm sorry, what was the question? Is he a stopgap or starter? He certainly has starting experience. I don't think he plays very much initially, although I've been surprised before. I tend to think they'll roll with guys that have been in the program for a while. But, maybe they get desperate and they throw him out there a significant amount. but I suspect he's more of a depth signing than a bring him in and insert him into the starting position, especially if they get Kevin King back, which is trending in the right direction. So, but we'll see. Mm. Sel is my first thought too. Good, Bob. So I'm not going crazy. Maybe find a safety and move Savage to nickel. As you know, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, find a safety. They have a couple safeties, and they've been doing a little bit of that. Maybe they go there a little bit more. I tell you what, I like Savage down there a hell of a lot more than I like Sullivan. Let's just put that way, right? So I'm with you in that regard, Becky. No doubt about it. Flavor saver look. Oh, you guys are too much. Let me see. Can we stop someone's opening drive, please? David, seriously. Seriously. Sick of watching guys, other opponents just drive down the field and score. Can we get a 3 and out? Just a 3 and out. Or just let them, one first down is fine, but then stop them. It's kind of driving me nuts. Sad about Chauncey. You think big impacts there? Sorry if you already talked about this. Joined late. Rogers, that no problem. I'd mentioned it right at the start, but is it significant? Man, look, I really liked what we saw from Chauncey Rivers in training camp, but man, he has been non-existent from scrimmage so far this season. That's just calling a spade a spade. It's no disrespect, but he has not done much of anything. So, is it significant? Is it a big loss? I don't think so. And again, like I said, I really liked what he did in camp, but it really has not translated so far in the regular season. So, I think it's a move. It's a development that they can withstand, pretty easily. Wait, Wilford Brimley stash fund. Oh my god, I love it so much. Tremont too washed up to play nickel. Well, Tremont's too retired. Well, maybe he comes out of retirement, but I doubt it. It was pretty clear that it was all over last year. Sorry, Nags. I see Holmgren more than Magnum PI with the stash. That's fine, Robin. You see who the stash is like a Rorschach test, right? It's like you see what you see, and that is fine. It's all good. Whatever it presents to you, that's what it is. Empty backfield on first down still happening. Who's calling that? The game plan, mostly. They're going to go empty. I don't mind it as a wrinkle. I've talked about this a lot. I just hate it when it's the focal point of the game plan. But they have, utilized empty. I will say, one thing I have liked out of the empty sets is because they're using them with Aaron Jones. So if you're a defensive coordinator and you see Jones in the backfield, some combination of tight ends, wide receivers, etc., you're not necessarily thinking, okay, they're going to go 5 wide spread, but then they do. And a number of times on Sunday against the Steelers, they ran coverage off and had Aaron Jones come down underneath it on a slant, picked up like 2 or 3 first downs that way. I love that wrinkle. I'm all about that. And it is funny because, we saw against, what was it, Kansas City a couple years ago. He had that big game where the Chiefs tried to man up with linebackers and he just killed all of them. And then teams really started kind of treating him as a wide receiver when he split out. We saw that against the Falcons last year and it still didn't matter. And yeah, they had corners out on him Sunday against the Steelers. Didn't matter. I love it. I love utilizing Aaron Jones in the passing game. And if that, means we could see some more 5 wide spread stuff, I'm okay with it. Again, as long as it's a wrinkle, not the base. Tulio, thanks for the super chat. Long time no see. Do you ship Cheesehead TV merch worldwide? Tulio, absolutely. Anything that you find in our Teespring store, and if you need the link, just go to cheeseheadtv.com, click on the link on the top that says shop. It'll take you right there. Everything there will be shipped anywhere in the world. So get all the merch you need. Don Vito, thanks for the super chat. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Any thoughts on Rasul Douglas signing? He's a bigger corner at 6'2", 209. Like I said earlier, I think he's strictly a depth guy. I don't see him being utilized extensively. Maybe they find a way to put him on the field at some point. Hopefully, he can help on special teams more than anything else. I know it's just weird timing because it happened the same day they were possibly trading for Stephon Gilmore. So everyone kind of conflates the two. But I don't think, the idea is to have him come in and start. Now, maybe it is, and maybe I'll be completely shocked on Sunday, but I tend to think he's there as a depth piece more than anything else. Mm. I hope the stash stays well into February. I hear you, David. I hear you. Merch idea: a Corey mullet wig so we can wig out. Nice, Brandy. And then Bob asks for some mustache merchandise. You guys are all over the map. Next, I don't remember what you look like without a mustache. Looks good. I don't remember what it's. I just, yeah, a lot going on there. Do you think Joe Barry is helping our defensive line overcome the players' limitations better than Pettin did? I think the scheme possibly helps. I tell you what, it sure looks like. And now, who knows? I mean, if they would ever tell the truth if asked this question, but it sure looks like they've given Kenny the green light to just disrupt more than Pettin did. Like the idea of just penetrate and get upfield, get through that gap, blow things up. It just feels like he's been given that green light a lot more this season. Um, there's still instances where he had a great play against the Steelers where he stood his guy up and he's basically two gapping, which if you don't know what that means you're responsible for you control your man and you're responsible for a gap on either side of him, essentially. And he does a great in this play in particular, he does a great job of he's got his guy and then he finds where the back is going, he sheds him and makes the tackle. Like classic style. He was asked to do a bunch of that under Pettin. And it seems like he's asked to do less of that under Joe. And it seems like Joe has given him, like I said, the green light to just disrupt, get upfield, shoot the gap. And that has resulted in some really, really fun plays. So, yeah, that's obviously just one player, but I do think, yeah, it's the scheme has certainly helped a little bit in that regard, no doubt. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to get going. I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on Cheesehead TV. If you didn't check out Packer Transplants last night, be sure you check the replay. And also, please check out my interview with Matt Zembrowski, the creative force behind a new show called Dad's Season Tickets. It is going to be opening at the Milwaukee Rep in a few weeks. It's running basically through fall into the holiday season. It is literally a show, a musical, about three daughters angling for their dad's Packers tickets, season tickets. It is such a great idea for a show. I have obviously not seen it yet, but I've heard amazing things. I know someone who saw it in Door County. We're really excited to be partnering with Milwaukee Rep, and we're going to be doing all sorts of stuff around this show. So make sure you check out my interview with Matt. He is a really cool guy, has some really nice backstory about how he became a Packers fan, how he came to create this show. Check it out. And in the meantime, please do me a monster favor and hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family, Cheesehead TV, we're devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack Go.